I'm Irving, and I have no life, just like you.
The Ballad of Irving. Irving. Big fat Irving. Big sport Irving. The 142nd fastest gun in the West.
Naturally, during the battle, a helicopter shows up, so you have to find something to take it down with. Lucky for you, there's a random missile launcher just lying on the deck somewhere.
What an unbelievable coincidence!
Take out the helo, use your heavy weapons. Nice shot, Roach.
Why, thank you, Earwig. Further up, the bad guys start popping smoke, which of course makes the game just that much more fun. Gee, this is fun!
Good job, Hotel 6. Marine reinforcements are inserting now to dismantle the SAM sites. Get your team ready for Phase 2 of the operation. Out.
Phase 2? So that means this was just Phase 1. That would have been nice to know. They gave the impression that the high-value hostage was here, but it turns out they're just regular-value hostages. Best I can tell, the main idea was to neutralize those SAM sites. Why? I don't know, just shut up and follow orders. There's no law that says any of this has to make sense. We make it to our helicopter and head out.
Flights in vicinity of grid 255202.
Uh-huh, I'll get right on that. I'm sure that means something to somebody.
Proceed on course to target area along Route November 2. Punisher, this is Hunter Actual, Hunter 2.
I have an idea. Let's all talk at once.
West corner of main deck.
Better idea? Let's get out of here. Why did I have to listen to all that crap? Why not a transition like we usually do? I can tell you one probable reason. Trying to make the game longer. One of the biggest problems I had with this game is how short it is. I capture these games on DVD, and every other Call of Duty game has taken at least 3 discs, sometimes more. And it's not just because I'm really bad at this, but because the games were that full of material. So, how many did this game take? I'll give you a hint. You can count them on your nose.
Wiggy, how is it that a beautiful girl like you only has one nose?
Eh? Well, I mean, that's usual, isn't it?
Yeah, so I noticed.
1. I got the entire thing on one regular-sized DVD. And you can see from these clips that it's definitely not because I'm really good and can just zip through it. I may be one of the worst game players you ever saw, and I got through this in less than 6 hours. Spoiler, it was the same with all 3 Modern Warfare games. If you're going to charge full price for a game when it comes out, make sure it's full price length. This isn't. Fortunately, I don't buy new games. I wait for the used price to come down, which is why I'm usually at least a year behind the latest releases in these reviews. But I really feel for folks who plunked down $60 for this when it first came out, because they really got shortchanged. And all this padding isn't helping because the game just doesn't have that much to it. And honestly, padding is the only reason I can see why I would have to listen to all that radio chatter while my helicopter takes off with all the speed and grace of a 3-legged turtle. Let's just get going.
Actual raw strike teams. All SAM sites neutralized. Repeat, all SAM sites have been neutralized. Blue sky in effect.
Seriously?
6 fleets mopping up. Time to move in. Long history of this building. Not much of it pretty. It started out as a castle with an actual dungeon, built to withstand any siege.
So the place we actually want is on the mainland? Then why did we take that offshore? I guess it was so the SAM sites wouldn't shoot us down on our way in, but we had 2 submarines we could go in by sea, and they had hostages on the oil rig and we saved them, but who were they and why did we... Ah!
The building survived every brutal winter. The occupants, they weren't so lucky. The monastery didn't survive the purges. Over the last century has played host to anyone the government didn't want but couldn't kill.
Hang on, so there's actually somebody out there that the Russian government doesn't feel they can kill? Lots of them, apparently.
The place is filled with living casualties of the last war, which I swear I thought we'd won.
Sounds like a good place to hold next year's Super Bowl. At least it'd beat the heck out of Arizona.
627's the piece of meat Makarov wants, so let's cut him loose.
Okay, let's storm the castle.
Four hostiles on the next tower.
What tower? I think there used to be one there, but the problem is the jets are firing those missiles a little too close to us.
Shepard, get those fighters to cease fire immediately. That was too close.
I'll try to buy you some time. One man in a gulag doesn't mean much to the Navy at this point.
Isn't the one man in the Gulag the primary mission? What's going on here? If the Navy doesn't care about the primary mission, why are they even there? This makes no sense at all. You fight your way inside, then start trying to locate your prisoner by doing a cell-to-cell search while your man Ghost is hacking their computers to try and locate him. It's basic Call of Duty chaos. The most interesting thing is when you have to use a riot shield. Yes, I said have to. Soap gives you no choice. He won't move on in the game until you grab one, whether you think you need it or not. Now, while you're carrying this thing, you apparently can't shoot. But you can do this. If it works, don't knock it. And you saw we're still trying to be clever with our achievements, and we're still not succeeding.
Riot shield to draw the fire.
Okay, I drew their fire like you said. Did I do it right? Further on, you rappel down, then it's time to use night vision. Well, that's as useful as a third left foot, but somehow it's not all that surprising. This stuff doesn't help you much.
The Navy isn't in a talking mood right now. Stand by.
Why is the Navy shelling this gulag in the first place? What's such a big deal about it that they have to blow it up right now, even though it's hundreds of miles from anything important to the actual war? Do any of these commanders talk to each other? No wonder the Americans are losing. Their leadership is as dumb as a bag of rocks. Oh, sorry. You go through some old sewers or something, and then, of course, you have to do this yet again.
Drop it.
Price? This belongs to you, sir. Who's so?
Hey, it's our old pal Captain Price from the first game. He's our high-value asset? Well, okay then. Wait a minute. Wasn't he... I guess he got better. Time for a nice little reunion.
We gotta get out of here. Move, move.
Bravo 6, be advised.
Go, go, go.
They started the bombardment early. Get the hell out of there now.
Or not. This is what I'm talking about with those collectibles. It's like this all the time. You can't look around, you can't scout rooms or buildings, there just isn't time. The game doesn't give you any breathing room, so what's the point of having something like that if you make it impossible to engage it? I really do not understand the mindset behind this game. Anyway, let's get out of here. The indicator says I have about 75 meters to go. Really? Again? You guys just never get tired of yanking the player's chain, do you? Maybe your parents always set you up to fail as a kid, but that doesn't mean you have to pass it on to everybody else now that you're ostensibly an adult, okay? So we head for an alternate exit.
It's a dead end. 6-4, where the hell are you? Over.
Bravo 6, there's too much smoke. I can't see you.
Roach is down. Roach.
I don't know why I'm not surprised, so let's do it again.
Whatever you
Wait, that was supposed to happen? Another planned failure. You'd think I'd be used to it by now. Soap shoots a flare through the ruined ceiling and the chopper drops a rope for you. That was a wild ride. And by the way, you may or may not have noticed that you were standing on an unexploded bomb while all that was happening. The weird part about that is, that was an aerial bomb, the kind that drops from a plane. You're being shelled by the Navy, presumably from ships. So where'd that thing come from? Well, we're out of here, so it's somebody else's mystery now. And I refuse to repeat the name of that achievement. Traitor. So now what? Okay, I see the loading bar there at the bottom, and it's done. Let's go. I get it. Let's go. You may as well settle in because this goes on for 45 seconds. What the hell? Remember when a video game actually had you do something? Suddenly, you're in an evacuation shelter that's getting shelled, so you're heading out to buy them some time. Pretend either of us has any idea what that means. In the end, what it means is a big firefight at a building that looks like it's part Lincoln Memorial and part Supreme Court. So, not only are the Russians invading our territory, they're gene-splicing our national monuments. We're not going to stand for that! Of course, there's a zillion enemies. Fortunately, a lot of them are just about as smart as this guy. Yes, he literally walked out and stood there while I shot him. That happens a lot. You clear out the building, then get word that an evacuation site at the Washington Monument is getting hammered. Can you help? Of course you can, because you have one of the world's most awesome sniper rifles right there at your disposal.
I don't know why that doesn't surprise me.
Motor.
Now a bunch of tanks and stuff are moving in toward the evac site, so you grab a javelin. If I can ever see them, I will. Quit screwing with my vision. Your targeting scope shows about a dozen vehicles, but you only have to fire 3 shots, and it really doesn't matter which ones you shoot at. Now it's time to get out of this building before enemy troops overrun it. You do a timed run to the roof, hop a helicopter, and get on a minigun. I get the feeling the next sequence is supposed to be a grandiose last stand kind of thing, complete with the soaring music, impossible odds, and all that good stuff. But since this game loves to doom you to failure, your helicopter gets shot down.
Last mag! Make it go!
Injured, outnumbered, almost out of ammo, things look pretty dire. What to do? Why, change characters again, of course. Now you're listening to a conversation between Price and Shepard.
What's this image you're sending me?
You want to put out an oil fire, sir? You set off a bigger explosion right next to it. Sucks away the oxygen, snuffs the flame.
Price, you've been locked away too long. Better get your mind right, son.
Shepard, are you willing to do what is necessary to win?
Always.
We got ourselves a pretty big fire. Gonna need a huge bang.
You've been in the Gulag too long, Price. Focus on taking out Makarov.
No time, sir. We need to end this war today.
I'm not asking you, Price. This is an order. You're to...
Is he saying what I think he is? He's gonna... Oh boy. I do not see this ending well. I'm not sure what's going on, but we're making our way somewhere in 2 teams. We're with Price for this one.
Roach, take control of the Predator drone.
So I get to use a drone again. Cool!
What just happened?
There's a mobile SAM site in the village. It just shot down our Predator.
I'm really getting tired of that. Eventually, you do get to use a Predator, but it's not all that great. You usually have less than a full second to steer it where you want it to go. It's really hard to see what's a target and what isn't. And overall, I could have done without it. Although, when it works right, it's pretty impressive.
Good effect on target. Multiple enemy vehicles KIA.
Price is inside the sub now, and your job is to keep the Russians off him while he does whatever it is that he's doing.
Price, are you there? The silo doors are opening on the sub. I repeat, the silo doors are opening on the sub.
Considering that conversation he had with Shepard, what did you think he had in mind?
Missile in the air! Missile in the air! Code black! Code black!
That's the plan to help the Americans? Fire a nuclear missile at who? This is a Russian missile, so it's probably targeted somewhere in the US. How exactly does this help? In the next loading scene, we learn that it's headed for the East Coast, probably Washington. Shepard has everybody convinced that Makarov is responsible for all this, and the government gives him a blank check to do whatever is necessary to get him. Gee, that doesn't sound foreboding at all, right? We're back to being Ramirez, and we repeat the entire scene at the crash site. And it stops in exactly the same place. Why? And now we're in space with a satellite's eye view of the International Space Station.
This is ISS Control. Houston's requesting a feed from your helmet cam, over.
Aren't satellites basically glorified computers? Why is this guy trying to talk to one, much less asking it to use its helmet cam? Is this satellite actually a guy in a spacesuit hanging out over there waiting for instructions?
They want you to look over towards the dark side of the Earth. Should be cresting the horizon about 15 degrees east of the starboard PV rays. Set-1, rotate your view a little further to the right, will you?
Why does he keep saying that? Is somebody on the ISS supposed to answer?
Set-1, rotate your view a little further to the right, will you? There it is. We're getting your feet, Set-1. Come in, Houston. Are you getting this?
Oh, he was talking to me! And how the heck was I supposed to know that? This looks like your average cutscene, and nobody told me I was supposed to do anything. I discovered that by accident. Okay, so we can see the missile. So what?
Houston, this is ISS Control. Any word on the...
Look at those hands. Sat-1 really was a guy hanging out in space. And what in the world destroyed the station? Are we supposed to believe it was a shockwave? Or the EMP disrupted so many systems it exploded? That detonation looked like it was a long ways away, so I don't see any good reason why that should have happened. And we won't get a chance to find out because suddenly we're back down at the helicopter crash.
What's going on? EMP! Just keep moving! Look out! Go! Go!
The EMP from that detonation has pretty well fizzled everything, so the Russian helicopters are falling out of the sky, vehicles are exploding, buildings are crumbling.
Basically the worst parts of the Bible.
You meet a runner who's looking for survivors. He tells you to get to the Whiskey Hotel, better known to real people as the White House, which of course is as far away as humanly possible. You fight your way through town and through the Eisenhower building. When you emerge, you find yourself in the middle of a huge firefight. As it turns out, there's still power in the White House, but the Russians control it. We have to take it back so we can talk to Central Command. So you fight over to and into the White House, but then you start hearing something on your radio. It's almost impossible to catch, but somebody is going to basically level the city. So we have to get to the roof and send a message telling them not to. Well, hello, Call of Duty. It's about time you showed up. You get to the roof and pop a bunch of green flares and the planes go on over. In the distance, you can see other big green glowing places. So the question comes up, When are we going to Moscow?
Gentlemen, we've lost more than we ever dreamed, but we will recover.
Yeah, we wouldn't have lost so much if Price hadn't set off a nuke. You gonna address that, General?
I've got a blank check, and we're gonna use every cent of it killing Makarov.
How is killing Makarov gonna stop a Russian invasion of the United States?
Despite what the world may say, we are not savages. We don't kill civilians. We use precision.
We're not savages, we kill with precision. That belongs on a bumper sticker somewhere in the Deep South.
There's an evil man hiding in these shadows, and we're gonna bring him into the light. Once his face is revealed, we will write history, gentlemen.
Once his face is revealed, the entire Klingon Empire will sing songs about us.
These are the last safe havens left on Earth for Makarov and his men.
Sounds like we gotta be in two places at once.
Impossible?
Not for the 141.
Yeah, there are several of us. We can split into two groups. In fact, haven't we been doing that for most of this game?
50-50 chance to take out Makarov, eh? Captain Price, request permission to take the safe house with Roach.
Granted. Soap and I will take the boneyard in Afghanistan.
Okay, Price, just try not to set off any more nukes, okay? I still wonder why the General isn't addressing that, especially since Price disobeyed a direct order to do it.
Very well. We will cut off all avenues of escape. This ends now.
We get dropped off near the safe house and start making our way to it. Still doing the slow-mo thing, I see. I suppose it is a staple of the franchise, but it's a lousy one. Let's get on with this. As if pop-up landmines and guys in ghillie suits coming from nowhere isn't enough, you also have a nice thick smoke screen and mortar fire to deal with. It's actually pretty good. Looks like we got all the bad guys, so we can move on toward the objective. Wait a minute, where is everybody? Did I lose the entire squad? Am I the only one left? Sure looks like it. Well, okay, off we go. Still got a bad guy to catch. That was weird. You don't usually lose guys like that.
We got 2 trucks leaving the target building.
They're back! So you battle through the safe house and Makarov isn't there. You contact Shepard and learn that he wasn't at the place in Afghanistan either. But there's a buttload of intel in this safe house, so once you have it, you can track him down to wherever he tries to go. You hook up a module to his computer and start the transfer.
I have eyes on additional hostile forces moving in on your position. They're approaching through the solar panels east of the house. They're moving in through the solar panels east of the house.
Roger. I'll try to cut them off as they come to the trees.
Use your claymores if you have them.
Really? I've seen DSL connections that move faster than this. But of course, we have to have a huge firefight to protect the equipment while the transfer is happening. Was there ever a better opportunity to throw you into a massive, how the hell am I going to do this battle of the type that made Call of Duty famous? Bring it on!
Ozone is down.
Let me rephrase that. It really is a spectacular battle, and there's a nice sense of satisfaction when you finally beat it.
The transfer's complete. I'll cover the main approach while you get the DSS.
From there, you fight your way out and make a mad dash toward extraction. With Ghost's help, you struggle the last few feet to the chopper. Shepard is waiting.
That's one less loose end.
No!
Okay, that was rude. Once again, you get to watch yourself die, this time shot and then burned. Modern warfare seems to like doing this to us way too much. Meanwhile, you hear a radio report from Price. He and Soap are under fire from Shepard's men, and he's trying to tell you not to trust Shepard. Needless to say, he's a little late. Now we're back to... who are we gonna be now? All our characters have been killed off.
Shepard betrayed us. Have to trust someone to be betrayed. I never did.
Price never trusted Shepard. I hope that means he has something up his sleeve.
Nikolai, come in. Do you have our location?
Da, inbound Price. But I am not the only one. You got Shepard's men on one side, Makarov's on the other.
We'll have to take them all out then.
Or let them take each other out. Either way, I'll see you on the other side, my friend.
Whatever it is, Nikolai is part of it. Let's find out. The first task is to battle your way to extraction via Nikolai. As you go, Price manages to contact Makarov and propose a truce of sorts. Shepard is bad news for everybody, so you tell me where he is and I'll do the rest. Makarov actually gives him a location, so once we get to extraction, our next step is to find and take out Shepard, the guy who got us into this mess by sending us after Makarov.
Alrighty then.
Somewhere in all this, Price manages to get us a ride. We then get an example of how every single line must be said, no matter how pointless it is.
We don't have much time. Nikolai's not going to wait around for us. Hurry!
Notice he said that after I was already in the vehicle. Since we're both the same rank now, I tend to think that merits an elbow in the gut. So probably won't do it though. Now you're in a car chase riding shotgun, or machine gun, or assault rifle, whatever. Nikolai starts to take off, so you have to drive up the ramp of his plane before he leaves the ground while a dozen other vehicles try to cut you off and keep you from it. It's a pretty good rush, all things considered. As we transition into the next level, we see that something new has been added. Well, that's not good. So what are we doing now?
We got one good UMP. They've got 1,000.
We have one good ump, so our baseball program sucks?
We don't even know if Makarov's intel's any good. Price? Price?
The healthy human mind doesn't wake up in the morning thinking this is its last day on Earth. But I think that's a luxury, not a curse. To know you're good time to take inventory. Out of our minds on a suicide mission, but the sand and rocks here, stained with thousands of years of warfare, they will remember us for this.
Yak, yak, yak. Get a job.
Because out of all our vast array of nightmares, this is the one we choose for ourselves.
Does this speech ever end?
We go forward like a breath exhaled from the earth, with vigor in our hearts and one goal in sight. We will kill him.
Nikolai says he'll wait at the exfil point, and Price tells him don't bother. This is a one-way flight. Did Soap have any input about this? I sure didn't. According to Makarov's intel, Shepard is in a cave in Afghanistan, having tea with Osama bin Laden or something like that. What, too soon? So we stealthy our way to a cliff and then rappel down.
Go. Hey, I'm not getting anything from Cycle 4 at the North Ridge Road. Could be a bad transmitter. Got 2 tangos down below.
I can honestly say I've never rappelled face first before. That was weird. Price said something about a decryption code, and we can see what he meant now.
7, Oxide. We've lost contact with Disciple 5. Probably just the sandstorm that's rolling in, or a bad transmitter. Send the team to check it out. Over.
So we can hear their radio chatter. That could come in handy. Not bad. You're sneaky for a while, but eventually they discover some bodies and the whole place is on alert. They cut the lights in the cave and set up a breaching charge. Wait a minute. This is their place. Don't they have the keys? What do they need to breach? Or are we just trying to be impressive with our explosion effects again? I really don't get it, but it's a pretty good firefight. Lucky for us, they have those nice laser sights so we know exactly where to shoot. Well, let's finish mopping these guys up. Hold on. So Shepard is here and he knows we're here, and he's bugging out, of course. Now we have to go stop him. Price has you grab a riot shield again, and once again we see this game's obsession with obscuring your vision.
Stay low with that shield so I can get a great shot. Keep low with that shield. Stay
stay low with that shield so I can get a clean shot.
Shut up, Price. I can't see where I'm going, so I'm doing the best I can, and you're not helping. Of course, you track him to a control room, of course they seal it, and of course you have to use a breaching charge for the cadillionth time. You take down everybody in the room and head in.
Advise, this is Gold Eagle. The site has been compromised. I'm executing Directive 116 Bravo. If you're still inside, your service will be honored. Shepard out.
I think we can guess what that means. So it's a timed race to get out before the whole place explodes. Gee, we've never seen that before. Seriously? That's all you could come up with? Of course you get out, just as Shepard orders the place to be shelled into extinction. You hear Shepard mention Zodiacs, so that means driving a boat. Let's get to it.
So, what are you doing? Full power, let's go!
Excuse me? I could still see his marker and I was spinning up my speed. What was that? What does it want me to do?
We can't let Shepard escape! Through that cave! Go, go, go!
I'm still not sure what it wants, but I'm going to guess that ricocheting off the walls isn't part of it. I didn't have much choice because steering is about what you'd expect. So the only thing you can do is keep the throttle jammed, steer the best you can, and just keep starting over and over until the stupid thing works right. Here goes.
We got a chopper on our six! Take evasive maneuvers! Go, go, go!
If I could see where I'm going. Price, you're not helping. Shut up!
Go, go! We can't let Shepard escape! Focus on driving the boat. I'll keep them suppressed. Ramping's up ahead! It's gonna get rough! Hang on!
Okay, you want to come drive this thing?
We're losing him!
Avatar 1, give me a sit rep, over. I have 4 horse 5-1 standing by, Dago Downriver Circle. Copy that, Warhorse 5-1, be advised, we're coming in hot. Well, you're coming ahead, keep it about 30 knots north of vertical clearance.
So he was supposed to get onto that helicopter. Another setup for failure. That's the theme of this game, I think.
Steady!
Good grief, what was in that bullet? Did he hit the 10 tons of explosive they were keeping in the glove box, or what? But right now, we have a different problem. So not only is he supposed to get on that helicopter, you're supposed to go over the waterfall after Price shoots him down. Why? Like so many other things, it doesn't make sense. I'm having a hard enough time believing he can bring down an attack helicopter with one assault rifle shot, but when I can't even back away from the edge of the cliff using the command the game tells me to use, I can't suspend disbelief. Any tender feelings I had left for this game just went right out the window. And now it's a repeat of the end of the first game. We're battered beyond belief and having to crawl across the ground, but the mission is to kill Shepard. Let's get to it. I don't know why that doesn't surprise me. It's what this whole game has been doing all along. Give you a mission, set you up, and then make you fail. Just as he's about to shoot you and finish the job, Price comes barreling in and the two of them have a fight that goes on way, way too long. I'd really like to know what Shepard is made of that he can walk away from a huge helicopter crash like that and not even have a hair of his mustache out of place. Price obviously can't finish him, so it's gonna be up to me. Of course, it's not as easy as just mashing the button and pulling the knife out. You fade in and out several times while you're mashing this button and wondering when the heck something is actually going to happen. It goes on way too long. It's boring. It's irritating. It's pointless. It's padding. And the way this game goes, I'll probably end up stabbing Price by mistake anyway. Success! That makes exactly 1 this whole game. You lay there for way too long until Price wakes up, then surprise, surprise, Nikolai is there to haul your sorry butts out of there. Price drags your wounded carcass to the chopper. I thought Nikolai had a plane. Please make up my mind. And that's it. Roll the credits and we're out of here. What? That's the end? Price is beat to a pulp. The world is destroyed. Your character is stabbed and dying. We got the bad guy, but as far as I can tell, it made no difference to anything. So why am I even here? This is so far beyond absurd, I can't even come up with words for it. I know it's a to be continued, but nothing actually tells you that. So you're just hanging there, hoping it's to be continued, but at this point, we don't know. But there is a little bit of good news. Once you've finished the god-awful mess that is the main game, you can go on to a little thing called Special Ops, which is a series of little quickie arcade-type games based on some of the stuff from the main game. It's a lot of fun. It beats the living crap out of the main game, so if you can, skip that and go straight to this. You'll have a lot more fun. This may well be the worst game I have played in years. It seems to be obsessed with screwing with your vision. Hello? This is a video game. That means the star of the show is the video. It is a game that is visual in nature. If you make it so I can't see, then the video is pointless and you have wasted a buttload of money even having video. If you want to show me that I'm taking damage, do like some other games and start turning the screen red or something, but do not splatter hallucin vomit all over my visor so I can't freaking see.
What the devil are you talking about?
I can tell you!
And who or what the devil is that?
I'm the Farscape fangirl. You kind of caught me in the middle of making my next costume, but the hallucin vomit comes from the season 2 episode of Farscape called Out of Their Minds, which is one of my favorites because it's body switching, and body switching is always funny. The crew of Moya are attacked by aliens called the Halosians. They have this really weird weapon that interacts with the defense screen and somehow switches their mind. But anyway, they bring one of the Halosians on boards to try and stop them from firing on them again because, you know, Moya has no weapons, and so they try and prove that to the Halosian. While they're on the tour, the Halosian vomits this icky red goo all over Moya's neural nexus. And it starts like creeping upwards and like destroying everything. It's all acidy and stuff. And so, the crew of Moya has to find some way to not only stop this acid, but keep the defense screen up because the aliens are shooting again.
May I?
And so, everything goes pooey, and they switch minds again because the print screen was still not up to full power because for some reason that just switches the energies around. It burns!
I'm getting ready to move on to Modern Warfare 3, but honestly, if it does the same thing messing with the visuals so I can't see anything, I may or may not get through it. There's only one way to find out. Until then, I'm Irving, and I have no life, just like you.
Well, finally, Irving got 3 slugs in the belly. It was right outside the Frontier Deli. He was sitting there twirling his gun around, and Butterfingers Irving gunned himself down. Irving. Big fat Irving. Big dum-dum Irving. Big dum-dum dead Irving. The 142nd fastest gun in the West. Really?
ACS model that we're after. Like,